People that's been in the Discord for a while, you probably remember about 4, 5, 6, 7 months where every 3 weeks I was putting a post in the Discord going, hey guys, entering a lottery. This is it. We're gonna get the house. It took me like 8 months to get a house in this game. WoW may have just shown FF14 that it needs to actually get its act together when it comes to player housing though. So there was a post on the Blizzard blog, their little news page. I haven't read this yet. This is going to be new for me. This is going to be new for you guys. Instead of giving cliff notes, I figured we'd just read through it together. We're excited to kick off our first look at housing in World of Warcraft and share some of our philosophies and plans for this new feature with you. First up, focusing on high-level design pillars for housing, as well as talking about a few key areas of housing that we will lay the foundation of future discussions with. Boundless self-expression. Our highest priority is to allow players to build a house that shows off their personal tastes or their warbands, act as a desired backdrop for role-playing, or just allow players to create something in a flight of fancy. The tool set should be easy enough for someone with no 3D experience to be comfortable with and use successfully. But it should also be powerful enough that players can surprise us with their creations or drill down to get the tiniest details just right. The gamut of decor options spans not just the cultures of Azeroth, but many expansions of World of Warcraft as well.
Well, maybe Monster Hunter 3 streams.
I don't know if I want to go play old Monster Hunter. Old Monster Hunter is for crazy people. But housing wouldn't make sense if the devs aren't going to focus on allowing players to like make their space. The point of housing is to have your space. Much like me, in my house in FF14, I have my space. I have a piece of cheesecake on the floor in the middle, 3 anime figures, and a painting of Y'shtola on the wall. Anyway, deeply social, World of Warcraft is more fun with other players. Housing should be no different. While players can enjoy housing purely on their own, its systems are designed at a fundamental level to encourage interaction. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, housing should be social. It should have a lot of self-expression. Housing is an evergreen addition. Yes, housing should be something that sticks around forever. Anyway. Zoning in on home. We've seen a lot of discussion and speculation from the community on where players will be able to have houses. We have decided early on that it would be 2 housing zones available at launch, one for Alliance and one for Horde, with more possible places to live in the future. The Alliance zone takes inspiration from Elwyn Forest, don't know what that is, with touches of Westfall and Duskwood. Again, don't know what those are. The Horde's inspired, whatever, because it's just map locations that I don't know. Durotar, the coastline, and Ashara. There are 2 main reasons for this decision. Having many housing zones conflicts with the second pillar of designing a feature that is deeply social. In a world where players can live in many different zones, they become increasingly spread out, and even with aggressive sharding, the chance of seeing other players, much less interacting with them, drops quickly. I'd zoom in if I could, but FF14... you know how often I see people walking around in the neighborhood of my housing district in FF14? Never. I think I've seen maybe 15 people in the entire lifetime that I've had my apartment or my house in FF14. Putting it bluntly, zones are a lot of work. We'd much rather do a great job with a small number of zones than do a passable job on a large number, or come up with solutions that take the player out of the world into their own personal instance of a zone. We chose these as our starting points because of how iconic they are for respective factions and how much they feel like home to so many players already. All right, so they're starting small, 2 zones. I am assuming this means they're gonna focus on not doing the FF14 thing of creating we just need more places to put things. Just shove it here. Just continue to shove things here and there and just build and build and build and just keep adding more to the pile until this game becomes more and more of a mess, which is what it feels like. I think it's a good idea that they're starting small and focusing on, as long as they follow through on this. I was talking with Flem about this and he was like, where's the microtransactions going to come in? Because it's Blizzard. They're going to cram a microtransaction into it somewhere. You just use my house for reference. Where's your house? But it's Blizzard. They're going to cram in a microtransaction somewhere. And Flem thinks it's going to be actual furniture and everything. Or when I talked to him last night about it. I'm curious what they're going to do, but at least at the start, this sounds like a good way to approach this. People that's been in the Discord for a while, you probably remember about 4, 5, 6, 7 months where every 3 weeks I was putting a post in the Discord going, hey guys, entering a lottery. This is it. We're going to get the house. this is the month. This is my time. I'm going to get a house. And then I just didn't get a house. It took me like 8 months to get a house in this game. FF14 is ridiculous. It took me like 8 months to get a goddamn house in this game. We wanted to ensure that housing is available to everyone. If you want a house, you can have a house. No exorbitant requirements or high purchasing costs. 16 million gil, 3.5 million gil, 40 plus million gil. No lotteries. Took me over 7 lottery entries to get my house, which takes over a week for every goddamn lottery. No owner's upkeep. If your subscription lapses, don't worry, your house doesn't get repossessed. If I don't walk through my front door 1 time every month, my house goes bye-bye. I lose my house. I lose my house if I do not walk through that fucking door. Man, FF14's housing just sucks, doesn't it? The more I'm just listing it in my own head and thinking about it, the more FF14's housing is actually garbage. It's so bad. There's so much of FF14 that's terrible that I'm sorry. It's been a decade. Spaghetti code is not an excuse anymore, in my opinion. I don't care that's an MMO. As a consumer, I don't care. It's been a decade. As a consumer of the product, there has been more than enough time to fix a lot of the problems that have happened in the game due to spaghetti code. If it's a straight up engine issue, okay, that's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about specifically the things that like to be swept under the rug with, oh, it's a spaghetti code issue. Is it? Because I don't buy that inventory is a spaghetti code issue. I buy that it is a retainer income issue, where if they fix the inventory, retainer sales are going to go down. And Square's not going to make as much money on retainers from FF14. And I bet they make a lot of money on retainers. I bet they make a boatload of money on retainers and we just don't know it.
I'm going to fistfight whoever keeps denying the devs from adding infinite glam plates.
I have no idea why that's not in the game. We talked about it a few weeks ago. The Chinese version of FF14 has crafter gear that is not locked behind classes. Yes, you have to pay for those to get them, but they are completely unlocked. You can wear any crafter gear on any class. Anyway, your houses are also shared amongst your warband, with your different characters being able to come and go as you see fit.
FF14, A Realm Reborn squared.
So your orc character can hang out in your alliance house without a problem. Housing rewards are also shared across your warband. You'll be able to use a decor collection no matter which character earns it. Can we stop with this nonsense in FF14 also that is, oh, it's a single character item. No, it's not account wide. We can't do account wide. We're not sure why actually. It just things behind the scenes. What do you mean things behind? Just make everything account wide. I'm not going to buy that it's a memory issue. It's your character is a text file. They will not fix the glam system and they will not fix the inventory system just because they make money on retainers. I will die on this hill that is the main reason FF14's inventory is so trash and they won't tell us. Furthermore, it's not just warbands that cross-factional lines, but friendships as well. You'll be able to live in or visit your friends or guildmates' houses and their neighborhoods with minimal restrictions regarding faction. For example, while it's not possible for your human character to buy a house in the Horde zone, your troll character in the same warband can, and then your human can use it as if it were their own. We want to mention the concept of neighborhoods as a small tease. Houses are organized into roughly 50 plot neighborhoods, letting players live next to each other, work together, and share in the rewards of being part of a neighborhood. Neighborhoods are instant, but crucially are persistent, so your neighbors can be your neighbors for years to come, or until one of you moves. Neighborhoods also come in 2 flavors. Public neighborhoods, which the game servers are responsible for creating as needed and maintaining. Private neighborhoods, created by groups or friends or guilds to inhabit, progress, and customize together. So while an individual player can have a house, a community can have a neighborhood. A slumlord can own an entire block of houses. I wish FF14 would do something like this. but I have zero faith that FF14 will ever do anything remotely close to this.